All right, we are recording now. So thanks everybody for coming on. Just so you know, this lesson is being recorded for learning purposes. Just quick expectations. Make sure you're following along with the Nearpod as we're going through it. Make sure you're using the chat tools respectfully and appropriately, and you're responding to questions and instructions the first time. It helps us just keep a good flow there. Okay, before we get into it, let me just jump to the course real quick. So remember, I do have posted right here to the announcements all of our recorded lessons. So if you've missed something, you have that. If you push plan, you'll be able to see what's going on right now, where we're going, all that stuff. So for example, we have live class today, and what's due this week is quizzes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quizzes that you need to do in order to be on pace. Those are due Friday. And then we have Thanksgiving break. We will not have a live class on Monday. We will have a live class on, we'll have, resume class the next week. And then going here, we got a couple other things popping up. And then we have winter break. And then after winter break, the last day of the block is the 12th. Okay. So things are moving along. Make sure you're just doing it. If you want to jump ahead, feel free to jump ahead and get all of it done, especially for winter break, because, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so today we'll be in Unit 3, modules 7 and 8, as you can see right here. So quizzes 19 to 22 is what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so our objective today, what we're going to look at is given quizzes in the OLS, students will accurately answer multiple choice questions about paying for college or a higher institution of education. We talked a lot about last time about the benefits of how much more money you'll make if you have some type of skill, right? And so this financial aid that we're talking about will help you to pay for that, because hey, if there's money and assistance out there, you might as well use it, right? At least that's my feelings and thoughts on it. And then we'll also talk about different financial institutions, and you'll do that with 80% accuracy across one trial. Okay, so as we're starting here, so paying for college and financial institutions. So we'll start off with paying for college, just basically any kind of type of skill. So this could be like, say you want to do welding, right? And go down to the ATC, the Applied Technical College, and look at getting in that program. You can get financial aid for that. You can get financial aid for all kind of hosts of stuff like there. So the biggest way, your dad did a welding program. Awesome. Yeah, my brother did one too. He really enjoyed it, and got a little money for helping out on it as well. The biggest thing to qualify for anything is they have the federal federal grant aids. And so that's what we're going to talk about in a second. But let's watch this video that kind of tells us a little bit more about all of these things.
Hi, my name's Ben, and today we are identifying sources of funding to assist in post-high school education opportunities and the cost of repayment. For many applicants and their families, the most daunting aspect of the journey to college is the price tag. If you're wondering, how am I going to pay for college? You have options. In fact, there is more help available to you than you might realize. These resources are eager to work in partnership with you and your family to ensure that a college education is affordable. The federal government. The U.S. Department of Education awards about $150 billion a year to more than 15 million students through federal grants, to federal student loans, and to employment through the Federal Work-Study Program. Your state government. Similar to the federal government, your home state offers various types of financial aid, and guess what? You might be eligible for this type of aid even if you're not eligible for federal aid. College and universities. Many colleges and universities provide financial aid and scholarships from their own funds, sometimes for a particular field of study. To learn if a school offers this type of financial support, visit the financial aid section of their individual website or contact the school's financial aid office. Now that you know who is available to help you pay for college, it's important to understand what you can do to make college more affordable. Start saving. It's never too early to set funds aside to pay for college, and there are specific government-sponsored saving plans to help you do just that. Apply for financial aid. Financial aid comes in many different forms from a variety of different sources. Start by visiting the Office of Federal Student Aid to learn about the different types of financial aid available to you, like grants, loans, and work study. Then, when you're ready to apply for financial aid, you'll need to complete the free application for Federal Student Aid, or better known as FAFSA. Explore scholarship opportunities. Scholarships are gift money that can help you pay for college. Most scholarships are awarded by individual colleges in recognition of academic performance, athletic ability, a commitment to community service, or other unique talents. You can learn about these opportunities by visiting colleges' admission and financial aid offices or websites. You can also find scholarship opportunities through local, regional, and national nonprofit organizations.
All right. So as you can see there's a lot of different ways that you can get money for school. It's just being smart about it, right? Going out, reaching out, doing your research and finding those things. One of the best ways to do it is through that. But what we're going to look at now is just, I want you to put on the Nearpod for those that are on there. Do you have a particular college, ATC program you want to go to? And second off, do you know how you're going to pay for it yet? So why don't we take a second to do that? Okay, no, Snow College, because I took a C there. All right, oh yeah. I mean, if you already got like credits towards that university or college or whatever, I would definitely jump on that, right? You don't want to have to do things over again. Sometimes they do transfer too, so you could look into that. But it's all about kind of being smart about it and doing the research. Okay, so somebody said Utah University. So the University of Utah, I'm assuming, right? Or Utah State University. There's a couple. Okay, good. Davis Technical College. Okay. Augusta, half of it has been covered by merit scholarship, and I still need to figure out the other half. Oh, perfect. Okay, so here's a way to figure out the other half, right? We'll talk about that in just a second through federal grants and they give you student loans, that kind of stuff. Doing CE at Snow and then go to BYU. Very cool. Trade school. I don't want college yet, but I will pay. All right. I'm not sure what I want. College. I'm not sure yet. Okay, good. And so just so you know, like, I still have to take some college classes every now and then. But most of the time I get them paid for, right? Through grants or scholarships or different employment reimbursement. There's a lot of stuff you can do out there, and then it's all covered. Okay. So and make sure you do get it paid for. Okay, if you don't have to. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of different types of things, how people pay for college. So scholarships and grants make up 30%. Friends and relatives paying, student borrowing, so student loans, parent borrowing, student income and savings. And that 32%, I don't know what's there. Maybe that's just self-funding or something like that, right? Or paying as you go. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. This was back in 2015. I think I need to update that. Okay, so the different things they've talked about, right? So grants. So grants are basically given to you. You do not have to pay them back. I have received some federal grants before, and they paid for about 80%, I think, of most of my tuition and stuff when I went to college, right? Scholarships. There's different scholarships out there. There's academic, there's sports, there's Also private scholarships. I've received some private scholarships. I was never smart enough to get the academic ones, but or athletic enough to get the athletic ones. But there's a lot of other scholarships besides those. Okay, so think about that. Student loans. I think that this one will be your last thing that you have to do. Just student loans. They're so hard. You got to pay them back. Getting loans is the last chance. Yep. Last resort for sure on there, Sawyer, for sure. Federal work study. So if you work for the federal government, they do have some things there where you get where you can work there, and they pay for it, pay for the school, which is awesome. I know some programs they go and you have to pay for it up front, but when you get a passing grade, they will pay you back that tuition. So that's always good. Internships and fellowships. I did an internship at the state capitol, and they paid me for the time I did up there, which was nice. And then I was able to put that towards my tuition that I had to pay. So that was good. Institution tuition waivers. So if you work at an actual, like, for example, I've lived close to Weber State University. So that's where I did most of my schooling. But at Weber State University, if I were to work up there, they would give me tuition waiver, so I wouldn't have to do it. So it's kind of nice. Employee benefits, I've received these as well, where they want to get you extra training wherever you work for, and they will, as soon as you get your degree or whatever, or however it's set up, they will then reimburse you what it cost you. And then it really helps you want to pass, right? Because you wanted that reimbursement. And then the other one's veterans benefits. So if your parents were a veteran, so that means like in the military, or you decide to go into the military, you have benefits that they'll pay for up to so much of your schooling there. So that's something to look into. Okay, so one of the biggest ways to start. So if you have no idea where to start, you should start here. This is called FAFSA. Okay, it's Federal Student Aid. And what you'll do is you must file every year in college. Okay, and so by October 1st of your senior year, you can first apply. The sooner you do it, the better, because they have so much money and they'll grant more money up front, right? So if you're a senior right now and you're looking to go to college or a trade school or something like that, I would look at applying for this. Okay, so I'd pay a lot of attention. Okay, you will need a FAFSA ID, and since you're probably living with a parent or guardian, you will need some of their information as well. Okay. So it's called FAFSA. So you go to www.fafsa.gov. It stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And this is what the page looks like. So what you'll do is you'll just like start new FAFSA. You'll have to put in a bunch of information. It's like a huge application. I know it sounds huge and long, but honestly, I'm going to tell you, like, I think there was one semester when I was first married, we didn't have any money, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think they gave me like $4,500 towards schooling per semester. Okay. So that's quite a bit of money that I could basically, continue to go to college and go through it. If you feel more comfortable talking on the phone, or if your parents do, you can call the 1-800 number. And they'll also give you some other things. You can do paper online. I would suggest online. It makes it a lot easier. And you can call between those hours. They do have Spanish available as well. But this would be the first step to kind of see like that. And then after a while, what it will do is it will give you what you qualify for. And it'll just send you an email and say, hey, you got a grant available. Okay. So that's where you should start if you have there. Okay, skipping on to our next section. Okay, we're going to talk about financial institutions and how they are different. And what we'll do here is we're going to play a little video, and then we'll discuss after that.
Hi, I'm Ezra Hainsworth. Today we'll compare the roles of financial institutions and their services. Institutions such as banks, credit unions, insurance companies, loan agencies, and investment or brokerage firms. A financial institution exists to provide a wide variety of financial services. These include widely used services like deposits and withdrawals, lending and collecting, and investment products, as well as highly specialized services like futures trading and financial modeling. While a majority of financial institutions provide a host of services and accounts for the general public, others focus on specialized services that only have a small number of prospective customers. To know which financial institution is most appropriate in serving a specific need, it is important to understand the differences between the types of institutions and the purposes they serve. The major categories of financial institutions include central banks, retail and commercial banks, internet banks, credit unions, savings and loans associations, investment banks, brokerage firms, insurance companies, and mortgage companies. Central banks. A central bank is a financial institution responsible for the oversight and management of all other banks. In the United States, the central bank is the Federal Reserve Bank, also known as the Fed, which is responsible for the conducting monetary policy, supervision, and regulation of financial institutions. Individual customers do not have direct contact with central bank. Instead, a large financial institutions work directly with the Fed to provide products and services to the general public. Retail and commercial banks. Traditionally, retail banks offered products to individual consumers, while commercial banks worked directly with businesses. Currently, the majority of large banks offer deposit accounts and lending and limited financial advice to both demographics. Products offered at retail and commercial banks include checkings and savings accounts, certificates of deposit or CDs, personal loans, mortgage loans, credit cards, and business banking accounts. Internet banks. One of the newest entries into the financial institution market is the internet bank, which works in a similar fashion to retail banks. Internet banks offer the same products and services as conventional banks, but they do so through online platforms instead of brick and mortar locations. Credit unions. Credit unions serve a specific demographic per their field of membership, such as teachers or members of the military. While products offered resemble retail bank offerings, credit unions are owned by their members and operate for their benefit. Savings and loan associations. Financial institutions that are mutually held and provide no more than 20% of total lending to businesses fall under the category of savings and loan associations. Individual consumers use savings and loan associations for deposit accounts, personal loans, and mortgage lending. Investment banks and companies. Investment banks do not take deposits. Instead, they help individuals, businesses, and government raise capital through the issuing of securities. Investment companies, more commonly known as mutual fund companies, pool funds from individuals and institutions to provide them access to the broader securities market. Brokerage firms. A brokerage firm assists individuals and institutions in buying and selling securities among available investors. Customers of brokerage firms can trade in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and exchange traded funds or ETFs, among others. Insurance companies. Financial institutions that help individuals transfer risk of loss are known as insurance companies. Individuals and businesses use insurance companies to protect against financial loss due to death, disability, accidents, property damage, and other misfortunes. Mortgage companies. Financial institutions that originate or fund mortgage loans are mortgage companies. While most mortgage companies serve the individual consumer market, some specialize in lending options for commercial real estate only.
Okay. So they did talk about banks and credit unions, but I feel like almost this section is kind of obsolete a little bit. He did talk about right now, as you'll see, as things are going and progressing and moving along, the financial system is changing quite a bit. And you used to have just banks and credit unions, right? You go into your local bank or credit union, you get a loan. Now you have all of these online institutions where you can do anything. You can start investing while moving it to a checking and savings account, while doing, in other high risk stuff, maybe like cryptocurrency, all of this kind of stuff. It's a lot of things are changing right now. And I think we're going to see these changes as technology kind of moves on. I think it's good to know the difference between banks and credit unions, but as of right now, I think things are changing. So I think I'm gonna have to change up some of my stuff because the world is just evolving so much in the way things are working. Okay. But here's some of their older traditional kind of things, right? So you have different banks. Now, banks, they usually charge a fee, but they seem to be in more locations, if that makes sense, like across the United States or across the world. Now, I guess since everything's online, you can access anything from anywhere. So it hasn't been that big of an issue. But credit unions are more localized. I thought I had some things on here about credit unions, but you things like America First or Mountain America Credit Union or Golden West, all of those kind of ones. I like to use them a little bit better because I think they don't have kind of these big banks in mind. But that's just the way I think. But whatever you guys want to do, some of you guys are never going to go into a bank now, right? You're just going to do everything online. It's all going to be virtual banking and going through there. And I'm with you. I have some apps on there that I can go and I can transfer money. I can move money. I can pay people. I can do all kinds of stuff all in one fell swoop. So just know that this is being changed and stuff like that. So it's something you want to keep an eye on as you are looking to invest more and put things away. That some types of banks are changing. So, but one thing that you do want to do, I spoke with somebody not too long ago. They were in their late 50s and they actually had never set up a checking or savings account, which absolutely shocked me. But I mean, I have one for all my kids already, right? A checking and savings account. And you can go into any kind of credit union or bank, but just a place to go in and be able to save some money. I asked them how they did it, and they said that their bank or their business just pays them on what's called like a green card or something like that, or a blue card. But anyways, and they do it and they just pay everything from that, and they didn't really look at that. But to be smart, you'll want to have a checking or savings account. Start an emergency fund. Have a place where you can put some extra money in. Some things you want to think about. Some checking accounts, they do have monthly fees. So you maybe want to get one that's free, at least for right now. The ones I have for my kids, they don't have tons of money in there, but they have a little bit. But they don't pull out fees. There is a minimum balance that they have to have in there, but usually it's like $1, so not very much. They do gain a little bit of money by having it into that bank account. And so they're able to see some things. You can start doing some online stuff. So that would be a first step for anybody, is to go down, wherever your parents or whoever you live with, maybe banks, maybe just go and start a bank account. Some bank account or some institutions too actually give you like $50 for signing up, right? And they'll just put it right into your bank account. So get a little extra money that's worth your time. Go sign up, and you'll have a place to keep your money. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, this week we're going to be doing modules 7, which is paying for college, which we went over today, and module 8, which is different financial institutions. You'll learn a lot about all of that stuff. And remember, next week we don't have a class because of the break, and that's about it. So I'm going to stop the recording. But if you have any questions, please stick after, and I will answer anything for you.